Monday, and well, it's morning here in Arizona. So good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're joining me from. I hope that you had a really wonderful and relaxing weekend. Yeah, I hope that you did. And thank you all for tuning in. And it's been so much fun to have everyone on for the last few months from all over the world. One of the things that I really love about Enlightened World Network and the internet in general, right? We're so blessed with this technology to be able to reach one another in ways that we couldn't do before. And it's instant, it's all over the world. So whether you're catching this live or on the replay, welcome to you, and it's a pleasure to have you here. If you've just tuned in for the first time, or you have only tuned in a couple of times, this live stream has been pretty much daily since January. And where we are is we're going through A Course in Miracles, one segment in particular called the Workbook for Students, which is well known. It's infamous among some people, famous, infamous, yeah, you name it, infamous, because it gives us something to do and brings up all of our drama, which we'll talk about today. And it's a series of daily ideas that we go through, and on the live stream, I give some comments based on my own experience. A Course in Miracles has been the centerpiece of my own spiritual practice for the past 8 years. Now, I've been through the workbook, and there are, of course, people tuning into this that have studied the course longer than I have. So whether you are a seasoned veteran of this material, or whether you're just tuning in for the first time, again, you're in the right place, and welcome, because today on Monday, what I'm doing is I'm talking about general spiritual principles in a special focus. Tomorrow, we'll be right back with lesson 95 in the workbook for students, which is where we've left off. And we'll continue to go through day by day there. So I've decided that having a special focus every Monday is really great. I will tie this in to A Course in Miracles, of course, throughout, because that's the subject of this live stream. And that's a lot of my spiritual experience. It's a lot of my spiritual teaching experience. So what we're doing here is we're looking at several basic spiritual principles, and each idea in the workbook for students is a basic spiritual principle that's universal. I mean, it applies to everyone, no matter what your background, no matter what your circumstance, no matter what your spiritual practice looks like. There's something in all of this for you. So today I was inspired, and am still, happily, that's always good, right? I'm inspired to talk about responsibility and owning it. Yeah. Spirituality is all about that, isn't it? Now, there are so many things out there. It's a virtual spiritual marketplace in the 21st century. So while it's wonderful that we have access to all of the world's spiritual traditions, all we have to do is go online and we can access information, we can access resources, we can access groups, connect with people, network with people, reach out to people. There's so many things we can do. And we can also go into information overload, can't we, with spirituality, as with any subject. We can take a look at everything that's out there that won't help us. Everything that will and won't help us is out there. What won't help us are things that keep the ego very much alive and very much intact. That's what we're trying to do in any form of spirituality, is disidentify with the ego so we can have a different experience. Underlying all of this is a theme, and responsibility is one of those themes. There are many things out there that have us simply just temporarily bliss out and leave the ego completely intact. There are programs and techniques out there for satisfying your worldly desires. I mean, nothing wrong with a nice pint of ice cream or a new car or a brand new house, swimming pool, could be a hot new relationship, whatever it is, nothing wrong with that. There are plenty of spiritual techniques out there that are designed just to help you get the next thing, to fulfill the next gaping lack, leaving the ego, the thing that's lacking in the first place, perfectly intact. Yeah. So true spirituality is about responsibility and taking ownership. It's very adult. It's very adult. And happily, you'll find me still laughing because it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. What we need to do, and what I invite you to do, is take responsibility for your own experience. This is all about learning that we're in control. Isn't that exciting? That should be really, really beautiful. That we're in control of our own experience. Moment to moment, we make the choices. You make the choice in your own life. You choose love, you choose fear. That's the choice. That's the choice that we make. And it literally is one or the other. Yes, it is that black and white. Ultimately, yeah, this is very simple. Spirituality is very simple. Now, does that make it easy in the world? Well, no, actually it doesn't, because we ourselves complicate things. All of the gradations of different types of pain and difficulty, they're all the result of a fear-based choice. So whether you call it anxiety, whether you call it sadness, depression, loss, sense of lack, yeah, never having enough. Those are all fear-based choices. We identify with the ego. That's our experience. We identify with love. On the other hand, we have experiences of, well, community, of laughter, of joy, of happiness, and real happiness that's not fleeting. Right? Sating a desire, buying a new car, is real happy. It's beautiful until you get the first payment, until you realize your insurance premiums have doubled, right? I mean, or someone dings your door in the parking lot with a grocery cart, and then it's no longer perfect. Well, yeah. And besides, I mean, you bought it new, lost several $1,000s of value the second you drove it off the lot. So there's that. So, it's not a place where we find lasting happiness. When we choose love, when we choose union and community and joy and laughter, it leads to, if we do it often enough, a lasting sense of happiness. This is a choice that is up to us to make. Isn't that beautiful? It's beautiful. You could try to put off responsibility all you want. That's what we all do, by the way. Each of us as human beings has spent countless years, decades, lifetimes putting off responsibility, trying to place our salvation, happiness, or joy outside of ourselves, in other people, in physical objects, even in God himself, or in another spiritual tradition, maybe in a guru or a teacher. Yeah, we try to avoid responsibility. Well, where does that leave us? Well, it leaves us in hell. According to A Course in Miracles, that's literally where it leaves us, hell being a separation, an experience of being cut off from who we really are. Which, when you think about it, is quite a bit of suffering. It's an excruciating amount of suffering. Why? Because we act out all of our separation thoughts, our fear-based thoughts. We appear to be in conflict with one another. We appear to go to war with each other. All kinds of painful things happen in the world to all of us. And we all have a choice. We can choose otherwise. We can choose otherwise, and we can do it right now in the present moment. So first part of responsibility is accepting that we have this power. This should be exciting. We own the drama. Yeah, you do have to own the drama. I've got to own my drama. I'm not alone. And I've got plenty of it. Yeah, it still comes up all the time. I'm just, with spiritual practice, I'm in a situation where I'm able to notice it and then constructively handle handle that, deal with it, right? Release it because it's coming up for release. That's an attitude that spiritual practice encourages in all of us, is releasing what no longer serves us. We have these experiences that we label as painful because these things are coming up for release. So it's about taking responsibility for all of the drama and the solution. Why? Because we have the power to change it. Nobody else is going to change it for us. You could pray or supplicate or whatever verb you wish to use. You can ask your guides, you can ask your teacher, you can ask God, Jesus, the Holy Spirit for help. Yet you make the choice to do that. Yeah, that's good to call on, definitely good to call on the divine. That is the ultimate power. And when you choose to call on it, that's a choice. By the way, you're taking responsibility for yourself there. What you're saying is, I don't have all the answers. I don't have all the answers. Help me out. Yeah, choose whatever words that you want. It's an act of taking responsibility. And by the way, it's very courageous. It's brave. It's brave. It's beautiful. It's brave. Each of us is beautiful and brave when we do that, because we're turning away from the ego, which wants to keep us small. The ego wants us to spin around in our own minds in a victim mentality, saying, okay, I'm a victim of the world. I don't have enough. I suck. I don't have enough. I can't. It must be me. I'm incapable. If you don't have enough money, it could be that. If you are in a relationship that's not completely satisfying to you, it could be that. It could be that you feel like you need to lose some weight. It could be that your physical health is suffering. It could be anything. The ego wants to keep us rolling around in our own minds, beating ourselves up and playing the role of a victim. In spirituality, you don't get to do that. So it does require some adultness. I think that's the word that I want to use. It requires some adult behavior. One, owning that, yeah, I've created this drama for myself, and happily, I can choose the solution. And the solution is love. The solution is choosing love. What does that look like for you? I don't know. What does it look like for you? Does it look like honoring yourself a little bit more? Does it look like clearing some mental and emotional clutter in your life? Does it look like walking down the street instead of keeping your head down when you see somebody smiling and saying good morning? Does it look like that? Right? Does it look like preparing yourself a nice meal or taking 2 or 3 breaths, 5-10 seconds out of your day and just breathing deeply and relaxing a little bit? That, by the way, is a successful short meditation if you do it and place your awareness on the breath. Yeah, could be that. Could take any number of different forms, but this is what we're being called to do here. That's why we're here in the world. This is what, according to A Course in Miracles, time is for. It is for us to awaken. It's for us to choose love. And it's for us to have the experiences that we need to have in order to choose love. So haven't you in your life or lifetimes suffered enough? And are you feeling like it's time to change your mind and put an end to all of the drama? If you are, we, of course, have to own the drama, but we also are in charge of the solution. It's tremendously empowering. It's tremendously empowering. And what you may find from your own experience, if you've done some of this, you will know exactly what I'm saying here. When you begin to own the drama, the voice that berates you and berates other people all the time, berates the world, the victim voice. You own and recognize that and release that. The Course in Miracles talks about forgiveness. What this is a way of releasing what no longer serves us. It's something that's very central to this philosophy and in all spirituality, in fact, because we're releasing what no longer serves us. Now, when we do that, then beautiful things happen. If you've done it, you'll know. You begin to feel lighter. Whatever your spiritual practice is, something that I always think is valuable, very, very valuable, is for us to take a look over a long span of time. If you've been involved in your practice or your religious or spiritual tradition for some time, what were you like when you started? What are you like now? What has been the difference? Have you noticed some positive changes? Are you more loving? Are you more forgiving? Are you lighter hearted? Do you have less emotional weight and baggage weighing you down? Do you treat people more kindly? Do you laugh more? There are so many different ways that we can look at it. And I encourage you to take a look at that over the span of your practice, whether it's been for 2 weeks or 20 years or longer. Yeah. Where were you then? Where are you now? And if you can honestly say that now you're a better person, more loving, more forgiving, a little bit further on the path, well, then keep doing what you're doing. And everything that is offered here in A Course in Miracles is intended to augment and accelerate your growth. You can use this as a turbocharge. You really can. Forgiveness is super powerful, and accepting and owning that we create our own experience is also super powerful. And I encourage you to take it a step beyond satisfying a physical desire. We've all heard plenty about manifestation and the law of attraction. Of course, it's a pop culture thing here in the 21st century. And yeah, it works, it can happen. I encourage you to take it a step beyond that. Because if you do that and you're still looking for something, we got to be looking inside. That's where the answers are. This is all internal. It's all internal work. So it's about taking responsibility for that, both the drama and the solution, because we have it all. The solution is here, folks. This material can help accelerate and turbocharge your spiritual growth. So I invite you to engage in that, whatever that looks like for you. All right. So this is one of the things that I love to do here is to interact with you live. So I'm going to bring up the live stream here. And if you have any specific questions or comments, feel welcome to type this right here in the comment thread. And I noticed there's several of you watching. Hello, Rosalind. Hi, how are you? Yeah, from Central Coast, California. All right. Ooh, Paso Robles, Vino. Yeah, I love it. Okay, cool. Thank you for joining me. And Claudia, hi, how are you? Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, and honesty with yourself is really, really good. So lately, Rosalind, you've shared here. Thank you for sharing. It means saying no and yeah, and expanding into not feeling deprived. Oh, good. I have a lot to say about this. Thank you. Yeah. From the no, there's room to spend energy where it's needed. Yeah, isn't this great? Okay, thank you for this comment. I love this. I want to talk about it. One of the things that's so beautiful about owning our solutions is and choosing love and releasing what no longer serves us is we have the capacity to clear all this junk. But if you want to insert another word for junk that starts with an S, yeah, go ahead, right? We can clear all that. We can clear it right now in the present moment because we have the ability to do it. And sometimes it's saying no, isn't it? I love this. So it's saying no to clearing clutter. In fact, I'm doing that in my own work life. I'm letting go of several things currently that I've been involved in that are no longer serving me. They did in the past, but now it's become stale or stagnant, or I need to be putting my energy in a different place, into a different activity. And honestly, clearing space, making way for whatever is coming next. And yeah, there are seasons to everything in life. And sometimes the no really does free us up. So yeah, totally agreed. Thank you for that comment. And guys, if you have other comments or questions, whether it's related to universal spirituality or whether it's related to A Course in Miracles specifically, feel welcome to let me know. I check this comment thread throughout the day. So if you're catching me on the replay, definitely say hello. And thank you all for tuning in. Now, tomorrow we'll be right back with the Workbook for Students, Lesson 95 specifically. And whether you're following along in the workbook or not, there's a lot there for you. And these are definitely universal spiritual principles. And thank you all so much for tuning in today. And I will see you right back here on Enlightened World Network tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody.